All right, Capricorn, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different here. So I'm going to channel a little differently while I'm talking to you. Okay, so let's just see how this works. I'm nice and cozy. I'm looking for the wild cat hair. All right, I'm nice and cozy. So let's see how this goes. All right. Oh, look at that. Okay, it's just a little fuzz. It's not anything to feel alarmed about. It's not like anything paranormal. All right, let me see what I can get really quick before I begin. Capricorn. So, just to let you know, this is a general reading. This is your love tarot reading for February 2026. If you're interested in a tarot reading or a pre recorded video reading from me, you could visit me at Yanez.com. I almost couldn't say that. I heard something and I don't think you'll be able to hear that. All right, let's see. You can visit me at RitaYanez.com if you would like an astrology reading or a coaching session. You could also visit me there. So there's an issue here. And it seems like there is some evidence-based therapy. So remember, I'm not diagnosing anyone. I can only recommend diagnoses. And really, I don't know you. And this is a video for entertainment purposes only. But there is somebody. Okay, I don't know who Flanagan is, but there is somebody that's getting some evidence-based therapy and it's not working. Definitely not working. I think this is a whole practice. This is somebody who's, okay, not whole practice. This is like family psychoeducation. So there's definitely somebody receiving some treatment for mental health, or I'm getting the name. I don't know who Flanagan is. I don't know how that applies to you. You'll know if it applies to you. You know what to do with that information. Somebody could benefit from some assertive community treatment. You know, the issue here, some of these people involved could just believe that there is a magic practicum or a magical protocol. And that, as in the Western world, something significant about that, because I was about to say, you know, if you go from left to right, some people believe that if you just follow these steps, of course, everything's going to turn out a certain way. But that's almost setting yourself up to a particular outcome because of your expectation. But somebody could be from another country. Somebody could come from a culture or from an understanding where they read from right to left. And it isn't as simple as, you know, there could be an issue here. This could be a person who's not, let's just say, from the Caucasus Mountains, but is in the United States. There could be a whole family having difficulty with the, you know, cultural assimilation. And one of the things that has to be understood right off the bat is that nobody's going to bother you in the United States about your cultural assimilation. But, you know, if you're in the United States, it's like when in Rome, do as the Romans. Doesn't mean that you have to do anything you don't, you know. Look, it's a very sensitive topic, especially right now, that there are people that, you know, find a lot of different things challenging. And I'm going to have to make a change here. I think that there's something, I just saw something really weird happen. Hang on, let me see if I could fix that. I saw something really weird happen. I don't know if you noticed that. Let's see if I can get it to do that again. But it is a very difficult situation. It just needs to be understood that it is what it is. And that when you find yourself in another place, in another culture with other customs, hopefully that's somewhere where you want to be, because you can bring your cultures and your customs with you, but they have to align. They have to then mesh. That's common sense, right? I can't go to another country and impose my beliefs there. This is very odd. When in Rome, do as the Romans. Somebody could read from right to left. There could be a level of stress involved in what this is. Perhaps I'm talking to somebody that knows or is working with or is a family of, the refugee kind that needed to be placed somewhere safe. And now if you're the one working with these people or you don't understand what's going on, it just needs to be understood that these things take time. People that need to escape a country that's just pure hell didn't want to leave because it was like a choice, survival. So let's just say you're coming here to the United States and you find it very odd and very strange. Well, of course, naturally, natürlich. Somebody speaks German. Okay, let's see if I see this weirdness again with the camera. I'll see if I could do something about it because it is a little bit odd. I'm going to see if I can drop some of these resources real quick. Hang on just a second. You shouldn't feel a thing. Somebody's trying not to feel a thing. Somebody, I don't want to miss a thing. Okay, so somebody's name is Steven. Somebody's name could be Tyler. Somebody could be a fan of Steven Tyler. Let me see if this will actually help. I hate to shut that whole thing down, but I may need to. Somebody may need to shut something down. Somebody may need to shut something entirely down. Let's see. Did it shut down? Okay, so that may help. All right. Okay, Capricorn, that's enough of that. If I get anything else about that, I'll let you know. I think I'm going to jump into... No. With the bit of weirdness that we had there with Sagittarius, you could know a Sagittarius. You could be dealing with the Sagittarius. This is a love reading, so we're going to try to get as much love information as we can. Okay, I just heard... I don't know if you could hear the popping in the fire. Okay, hang on just a second. Let's just see. All right. I hope you're comfy cozy wherever you are. You could be in another country. You could be in this country. You could be in your own country. I just wish, like everybody could just understand that people just want to live. People just want to live. People just want to be happy. I can only speak for the United States and that I was born and raised here. My parents came from Cuba in 1966 for a better life, all right? They came the legal way, the way that you're supposed to, and it was a different way at the time, because coming from a communist country, my dad didn't want to leave his mother. My mother didn't want to leave her extended friends, because her father had already died and her mother was already in the United States. Her family had been in the United States since the 30s. It was a different time. And, but they wanted a better life and to be able to have the American dream. Here in the United States, if you can dream it, you can do it. But we have rules, just like everybody else has rules. And not even those of us that were born and raised here always agree with the rules. But in the scriptures, we know, give Caesar what is Caesar's. If you want the rules to change, do something about the change. There are ways to try to affect the change. Okay, so we've got, this makes sense. So we've got the clean slate card. So we've got the clean slate card, and it says a full reset is now in play. Past decisions, outdated dynamics, and former versions of self are no longer calling the shots. That makes sense. Okay, so it doesn't have to be that you or someone you know particularly for your take on the story, the part that matches to you. Somebody could work in the janitorial services. Somebody could be a domestic helper, but this person's cleaning things up and wanting to start over. That makes sense. Okay, so the theme, the way that I'm introducing it to you, again, take it how it resonates. Now, I'm still kind of working in the background, so please forgive me. Hang on just a second. Sorry about that. I would never do anything this rude, but I'm going to have to do the thing. All right. The Bhagavad Gita is significant to someone, as is Lord Krishna. Yeah. Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, so now we've got inner turmoil and invite only. So the inner turmoil card is they may be smiling on the outside, but they're spiraling on the inside, pretending everything's fine, has become its own crisis. I was getting, see, we were talking about psychology at the beginning of this and therapy and modalities, and looks like there's a split in somebody's psyche. He could be a man, he could have tattoos. He could have tattoos all over the place. He could have tattoos predominantly on one side of his body and not on the other. This looks like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Capricorn, you could have been dealing with somebody like this. I keep hearing Chinese. I keep hearing Chinese. I keep hearing Chinese. I know that there are, I can't, I'm getting a whole lot of information right now in this download, but remember, something will be significant to somebody, and it involves reading from right to left. Writing from right to left, which in the United States we would call that in reverse or backwards, if you will. Okay, invite only. The real action isn't happening in public. Behind the scenes, the inner circle's already been chosen. I'm thinking that somebody is just, there's a family that has a level of chaos or has experienced that level of chaos. All right, thanks. I got to pay attention over there just every once in a while, okay? Somebody needs to do their taxes, but there are some problems with the taxes. If I pause, I'm getting something here. All right, we've got good karma. So for those of you that know you've got good karma because you've done a lot of good in the world, you've sought to not hurt others and not judge others too quickly and to help people when they're at their lowest. Good things are coming toward you. And I think this is an invitation you're going to reject. Somebody's going to reject somebody. There's definitely a monitoring spirit here. All right, somebody's from Mexico. Juarez is significant. Somebody listens to ranch music. Somebody listens to ranch music, could live on a ranch. Somebody's a rancher. Thinks they're a tiny little rancher. I don't know. I get the vibe that this person is gross. Okay, there's something about a gross, tiny rancher. Somebody's a tiny little gross rancher. Somebody's from Juarez, Mexico. Somebody's a kind of tyrant. What is that? Let's see if we choose any more of these messages before we dive into the tarot. Oh, and I wanted to let you know that I started this reading at 3:04 my time. And so I'm thinking, we're starting off with a hoe, right? We got a 3:04. And I want to let you know that this inner turmoil is that somebody is, who's on the path of starting a clean slate, letting all these weird experiences from the year of the snake or even, further in the past, has somebody else in turmoil. And it could be that there's a lot of secrets. This, to me, this invite only envelope could be that somebody is trying to keep this under control and quieted, that they have been committing slander and libel against you, but you're side-eyeing, looking at it like, yeah, I know what you did. You probably already do know. Somebody's name is Bert. Somebody's name is Bart. Somebody's name is Bert or Bart, or the name with the B. A B name is significant. Could be bees. No, it's not. It's B for Bart or Bert. Browning weapons are significant. The name Brown could be significant. Browning could be significant as it is. All right, let's see. I'm not getting a clear take on the name. You already know who this is what they're telling me. You already know the potential. I'm talking to somebody who's probably very sensitive, somebody who's got some good control of their skills, if you know what I mean. You know that if you are a sensitive liaison, like I've called myself for decades, I'm just in the middle trying to deliver this. Somebody's in the middle. Somebody was trying to be in the middle or pay somebody to be in the middle, and now somebody's trying to wipe it off. Somebody's trying to wipe it clean. Somebody's trying to start this thing over. Hmm. I don't know what this is. Why people. Okay, how about if we just pause here for a moment? Some people need help. Okay, so the person that's been doing this to you or who did this to you, if this is a part of your story or the story of somebody who could be close to you, is the person who needs to get some help. Okay, that's where I'm getting, yes, there are immigrants involved and or refugees involved in general because remember I'm kind of like tuning in when I'm doing it the way that I'm doing now. I'm basically trying a redux. Somebody's trying to go for a redux. Somebody wants a tummy tuck. I don't know if this is safe. Somebody's trying to leave the country to go get some major plastic surgery. I would be very careful. I personally would not be going to Mexico to get plastic surgery. Somebody wants to go to Mexico to get plastic surgery. I think that's why I was getting Mexico. I was getting Juarez. I was getting Rancher. Now I'm also getting Northern California with that. But definitely somebody wants a redux. Somebody's trying to reduce. Somebody's trying to cut. Somebody's trying to cut down, make themselves smaller, want to be smaller. This person could have tattoos. This person could be a male in turmoil. Okay, now we've got a couple. I wouldn't recommend that. Nothing against any Mexican plastic surgeons and things, but like let's say you're from the United States and you go down to Mexico and something goes wrong, even if you can get back over here now, if something goes wrong, which often things can go wrong, now you're asking and you're going to have to end up paying for, even though thought you were going to get a discount going to Mexico, you're going to have to pay for a plastic surgeon and or a whole host of other specialists to try to figure out what happened to you in that other country. Okay, I know a person that I don't know. I believe she still manages medical tourism, and this is a whole host of coordination. I'm not going to speak her name or speak on what she does specifically or what her opinions are on anything because she's just serving the client. But I'm going to tell you something. You will find me in Europe if I needed to do something to myself before you would find me going to Mexico. There's already too many problems with this. For whoever you are, I'm sure that other people have been successful with this. I do not suggest it. Save up your pennies and your dollars if you really want to go on a medical tourism tour and leave the country and go take a vacation and go see some pyramids or something. All right. But if I were you, I would stay in the United States if I'm from the United States and get my procedure done while I'm here, unless I can afford everything I want to or anything I want to. And then, sure, I'll go to Europe. I'll go visit some friends. I'll go have plastic surgery. Could rearrange my ass. Maybe somebody's working on their ass. I don't know what's going on with people, okay? I have nothing against plastic surgery in any way. If I needed to go rearrange something, I suppose I would go rearrange something, but I sure as hell wouldn't take a risk on my health. Oh, Lord. I was getting something about plastic surgery with Sagittarius last night, or through Sagittarius last night. It was somebody maybe that Sagittarius was involved with, or maybe Sagittarius wanted to have somebody was looking for a breast reduction, or somebody had like their boobs were too big. So now they looked really old and they looked matronly. It was, kind of disgusting, and I was laughing through it only because it was so horrific. And I don't know if it was plastic surgery, but it was like somebody was trying to guarantee to somebody that their boobs were real. Here we go again. All right, let's see. It gets a little warm when I get to talking about that because I want everybody to be safe, make safe choices. It's not a crisis. You are perfect. You are good just the way you are. I suggest that you do whatever it is that makes you happy. Don't listen to me. But the moment that it risks your health, I guess there's no point in being happy if you're dead, okay? Because you're dead. All right, let's see. After good karma and somebody who could be a Capricorn, could be a Sagittarius, or connected to Sagittarius or somebody with big boobs, could be a Libra, could be a Gemini, could be an Aquarius or somebody. I'm getting Gemini or Libra, and it's somebody that's connected either to you, Capricorn, or to Sagittarius. And it could be a Sagittarius, it could be a Capricorn. Flip it, switch it, and reverse it, okay? But remember, You are good on your own, and if somebody doesn't love you the way you are, I mean, like, be healthy, be clean of body, sound of mind, appreciate yourself, damn it, without having to worry about what celebrities look like, because what they look like in photographs and what they look like in person is very, very different. And, lots of them could look absolutely amazing on the carpet, and you haven't seen them naked to see the myriad scars and marks, everything they've gone through. Or, they look good in a picture for a moment, or if they're not speaking too much. And some of them have screwed up their faces so bad that no plastic surgeon can correct this now. Remember when everybody was putting all kinds of crap that belonged in an automobile into their faces and their asses? There's something about asses and faces, or somebody's face looks like an ass, or somebody is an ass. Okay, so let's see. Let's move along, or we'll never finish this. 304, somebody's, you know what? Okay, so somebody's been spreading some rumors, or you spread the rumors. Somebody was involved in something that had to do with slandering a person who has good karma, and there are consequences to this. We have the consequences card here, Capricorn. Okay, so no more running. The karma is catching up. How appropriate. Okay, it's right after good karma. And someone's being held accountable. I'm going to put that right over here under the inner turmoil. Somebody, whoever this part of the message is for, is definitely in trouble for slandering you. This could be libel as well. Remember that, everything is actionable if you could just prove that you suffered in some way. Okay. Generally, you have to show that you are an injured party in order to be made whole. I'm not an attorney. I'm just letting you know, because I know sometimes you have to remain very quiet while you know these things, and you have a consultation with an attorney, and or you let the detectives bring you what they've got, or you hired a detective, or somebody hired a detective. I think you already have a detective, or a detective, because a detective has come to you and people have started letting you know what this is all about. So you got people that are singing like, didn't we get this? Did we get this for Sagittarius, or who did we get this for? Now I don't remember. But somebody is singing, somebody is talking, somebody's already contacted you. This could have happened 2 years ago, or at least 2 years ago is when they started contacting you. And somebody else could be the private investigator that was the investigator, that somebody wanted to come and like prove that somehow you're some kind of a 304, and you're not a 304. And they found that you're a very nice man or woman. And they see that this is what they didn't want it to be. And it was a trusted friend. I said fend. Somebody's going to fend for themselves, so they figured out that you were fending for yourself. Okay. There's no mask here, just a rare kind of connection where somebody can be 100% real. So it's kind of like gives the energy of the hitman fell in love, the detective fell in love, the cop fell in love. Somebody was potentially, I'm getting that whole legal thing. I'm not even going to Mirandize anybody here, because this is so stupid and these people are so basic. You have no idea. Even somebody who thinks that they are that intelligent that somehow it's worthwhile to go slander somebody else's name or try to damage their reputation in some way, eventually you will find out how smart or how dumb that person is. If you think that somebody, if it just looks like a sitting duck, because they aren't defending themselves, I guarantee you that there's something else going on underneath the surface, and that they're just marking time. Somebody's marking time. They could have already done time, and their name could be Mark. Hang on just a second. Hang on. Okay. So a trusted friend. Somebody could have become your friend, or you have a friend in this turmoil. The song Barbie Girl is significant. All right, let's get one more. Whoa, that one almost fell into my lap. Something's going to fall into your lap. There's an opportunity coming your way. And we've got burning bridges. This chick has set something on fire here. It's not about closure. Somebody might not have given you closure. You might have said, I'm not going to give this person closure because they cheated on me. Okay, it is about cutting ties. Whatever connection existed, it's been torched beyond repair. Maybe they tried to burn a bridge and now they're like, oh shit, I want to come back to you because I'm in trouble, or because I figured out how valuable you are. Maybe you didn't tell anybody or tell a particular person everything about you and thought, well, let's just see what you think of me when you meet me. Trusted friend. This could have been a friend that you were involved with. The trusted friend could have been somebody that you thought you were very compatible with. This could be a past situation, might be somebody else's situation. I don't know, because this is just, we're just getting some signs and synchronicities here. So burning bridges, maybe you were just like, screw you, I'm gone, you're an idiot, and I'm out of here. Or somebody could have burned bridges to you because there was something else going on. Trusted friend, maybe they were having a relationship with somebody from their past, their present. Let's see. I don't know what the purpose was. I never really understand that if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, why hold on to two relationships? I saw something about, well, okay, so this guy was like, well, if you could have one, why not have two? Once upon a time, I had plenty of plenty. Okay, so, that's what sometimes people think. Well, and if people say, well, the men will be men, boys will be boys, or, what? How do we say women? They're just whores at that point, or they're 304. I don't know, double standard. Take that as you will. But men, people will say, well, boys will be boys. They just like to do their thing. No, we've given them carte blanche. And speaking of other countries, sometimes in other countries, it's just fully expected that nobody cares. Well, then why do you want somebody else to be in a relationship with you? Why not just have an open relationship or don't call it anything? Well, because somebody is selfish. Okay, somebody wants to have their cake and eat it too. This is about cake. Somebody just had a birthday. Now, this was in the reverse the way it fell. We have the status symbol. Somebody's just in it for the money, just in it for the bag, just in it for the red bottoms or whatever the hell. Okay, so somebody's chasing symbols instead of substance and wondering why it feels empty. So somebody went towards somebody else. It could have been about status symbol. Maybe you didn't look as good in Facebook or on Facebook as somebody else did, or they thought so. Or maybe somebody's like, yeah, that reminds me of the song by the Sandpipers. Most of you will not know that song. And her name was Carmen. Okay, so somebody's name could be Carmen. Somebody's name could start with a C. I just got confirmation on that. It could be that it's like, you're the girl I want to dream with, I want to be with, but I can't be with you in public. What, does somebody else's friends think that somebody's a 304? You ain't never met that person before, so how do you get there? All right. I don't know what it is about that Mazda Miata. Let me see if I could catch that one. Mazda Miata. Something about a Mazda Miata? Could just be about a Mazda. Could be about rotary motors. I don't know. Somebody into motors? General Motors. Let me set these aside. Okay. Mazda. Something about vehicles. Hang on. I think we're going to do something here a little bit different, and then we're going to move on. For some reason, I feel like I need to leave these aside, but let me grab this over here. Something about vehicles is significant. I'm going to see if I could locate this. Okay, we've got one already. Somebody's Asian. VinFast, Hanoi, Vietnam. Somebody watching me is from Vietnam. We've got Kia, Seoul, Korea. We got a lot of Asian happening here. Somebody Asian driving a Mazda Miata that, screwed you over, burned a bridge, and is now trying to come back. And, this could be playing out in your life or with somebody. Now it doesn't have to be a lover relationship. Remember that this is a 7th house issue, and this is for February. What's going on with the vehicle? The vehicle could be telling me to just go here, look at this, and get some locations. Okay. We got Hyundai. We got Seoul, Korea twice. We've got Subaru, Ibisu, Shibuya, Tokyo, Japan. Somebody's freaking... We got nothing but Asian here. And I was talking about reading from right to left. There's something that Well, no, that's a joke. I can't say spirit. Okay, never mind. Something my dad told me once. I cannot tell you what my father said. All right, we're going to take those two. Again, now we've got Toyota, Aichi Prefecture, Japan. Somebody's been to Japan. And we've got Audi, Ingolstadt, Bavaria, Germany. And GMC, Michigan, USA. Somebody's from Michigan. Okay, I don't know what it is about those places or that vehicle. Okay, somebody could drive a Maybach, and they're from Stuttgart, Germany. Okay, something's going on. Somebody's Asian, but they're from Germany. We got Lexus, Nagoya, Japan, again with the Cadillac, and Torrance, California. Hey, I'm from Torrance, California. I'm from Los Angeles. I was born right there in Torrance. Okay, so I don't know what that is, but it was important to note. I don't know if that's validation for me. I'm not a Capricorn, but my daddy was. I love Capricorn. I mean, Capricorn is great. I mean, Capricorn can have their downsides. I mean, they can be very difficult, bullish. Sometimes they look like bulls. You know what I mean? My dad didn't look that way. My dad, did not have a bullish bone in his body, but he could. It's something about jealousy is significant and control is significant. I'm just going to get another one here, and then I'm going to go straight to that romance angel. But it seems like you have been in a relationship with somebody in your past, Capricorn, or somebody close to you has been, or you are this person. You don't have to tell me. You're not in front of me, so don't blush now. That was very controlling. Maybe you've been very controlling. Capricorns can become hot-headed, hot-tempered, very rigid in their thinking. Remember that this is Saturnian energy. Saturn is your ruler, your planetary ruler, and that's a lot. Saturns can have a hard life. Saturns always have some kind of a thing going on with their mother. With my father, it manifested in having to leave his mother, Rita. I'm Rita, but her name was Rita in Cuba in 1966. He didn't want to do that. I think it kind of destroyed him, but he needed to do that because she couldn't leave, but he could. He and my mother and my then 2-year-old brother were cleared to leave. All right. She did eventually come to the United States to visit when I was about, I don't know, 15 years old. And then she went back, and then she came to visit one more time and couldn't go back because she died. So it's not like, it was sad because somebody's a diabetic. Okay, so hang on just a second. My grandmother was not a diabetic, but my father was, and so was his sister. Okay, so something's going on. Anyway, Capricorns tend to have some issue with the mother. There's a mother issue. It doesn't always have to be a wound, but there's always some issue. It seems to sometimes translate into a little bit of an attachment issue. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't have to always be unhealthy. Okay, so the curiosity isn't speaking anymore. Somebody isn't speaking anymore. So you aren't speaking to somebody anymore. I don't know why. And it could be maybe the slander, the libel, somebody saying that you're a 304, that you're a whore, or that somebody you know is a whore. Somebody has slandered somebody. Okay. Fair and square for sure. Starting this reading at 3:04, I guarantee you. And maybe somebody slandered somebody to you, and that's why you're not talking to somebody because you believed it. Are you that stupid? You shouldn't be. Not calling you stupid. You got to do your homework here. Or maybe somebody else has placed some veiled threat or something, or it could be quite the reverse. All right, let's get a romance angel. You know what? This came with it, and it shouldn't be there, but it was underneath. So we've got the oracle of the winds of change. Something is changing. Something is changing in the winds. The color blue is significant. True love. Okay, so somebody is not true blue. Somebody who you were dealing with, somebody who manipulated you is associated with the color blue, red, white, and blue. Somebody's from America, somebody's from the United States, which means that you or somebody you know is on the outside of the United States, and somehow somebody from within the United States has manipulated somebody? What the? Okay. So now we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Okay, so somebody wanted to make a romantic gesture, or you may wanted to make a romantic gesture somehow. That was thwarted, and now we are in the state of unrequited love. Place yourself where it applies, whether this is you, family, friends, your dog, your cat, your business, and this could also be your manager. Somebody's got a coach. Okay, let's see. Let's get a couple more. Express yourself in unrequited love. Wow, the spirits are really silent on this one. The spirits are silent on this one. It's almost like somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble. I don't know if you're in trouble or somebody else is in trouble, but almost this is like a spiritual kind of karmic trouble. Somebody could have involved themselves in something they should have. They shouldn't. I said should have. Did somebody force you into something, or did you get forced into something, or did you just like somehow chicken out? Express your love means that you're not expressing it. Unrequited love means that either you love somebody and they don't love you, or they love you and you don't love them. So what are you in a relationship with somebody that you don't feel that way about? I don't know. I don't get any jealousy off of that, but what did I start to say earlier? That Capricorns could be so jealous that they will literally bite and chew off their own foot before having to admit that they are wrong. I have seen this before. It doesn't mean that you're always this way, but get somebody with some negative aspects. It could be that you are a Capricorn or a Capricorn Sun, for example, and you're dealing with a hella Capricorn rising and you're like, oh shit. And then maybe worst of all, they are a Cancer moon. Who would want that? I don't know, honey, because we don't live by astrology and we don't die by astrology, although we do die the stars. All right, when it's your time to die, you die. Somebody died, somebody's lost somebody in their family. Okay, so let's see. And I know that sounds general, but I was talking about a mother wound and somebody has a wound because of losing somebody. I mean, we got to grow up at some point. We can't be Toys R Us kids, okay? We are going to lose family members and, my heart will go on. So you got to go on. All right, so let's see. Let's keep going. So unrequited love. We're going to take it. Okay, worth waiting for some, and look at that. That's an angel. Somebody lost somebody, and somebody on the other side is angelic or is kind of guiding you now, like a spirit guide would. Because yeah, there are people that decide that kind of like what I'm going to do. Once I'm not here anymore, I don't want to come back down here. I just want to stay and do my work over there. I think I'm quite done because I've had a lot of these, a lot of these. But worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love light now, so you got to let things play out. All right, which deck are we going to go for? I'm really feeling like I'm going to... Ooh. How do I keep this gentle? Let's go to the After Tarot. This deck is a little bit big, and so I prefer smaller cards. Not that my hands, can't hold bigger cards, but, it can get very tiresome. All right. Let's see what's going on with Capricorn. With express your love, somebody's not expressing how they feel or they were and they stopped and it was unrequited, or somebody told you that somebody didn't love you or somebody didn't want you. Did somebody slander somebody and say that somebody that you were attracted to was a player and you're like, oh my gosh, he's a player, I don't want him, or vice versa? Switch the roles, do whatever you do. Somebody's on the outside of the country, somebody's on the inside of the country, and writing from right to left is significant. Somebody could be Asian, somebody could be German, you could be in Stuttgart. Okay? Let's see. Worth waiting for. Somebody is worth waiting for, and you need to wait something out. All right, let's see where are we at. 304. I saw it. I'm not kidding you. 304. Somebody, yeah, look it. Somebody called somebody a 304 just because they were quiet and single and healing. That's sick. Somebody's an asshole. Somebody really is an ass. And, if he would have believed anybody would have done this, and somebody has some culpability too. Look, if somebody believes some rumor about you, then they're an idiot. Okay, shouldn't everyone get to know a person before, deciding that what something that someone says about you is true? I wouldn't believe that. Because it's not just because I've had people do things like that to me before. It's always jealousy, you guys. But here in this case, it's like somebody was healing and somebody was free of something hurtful. And then somebody comes in and I start the reading at 304. And immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what this is going to be. All right. Hang on. All right. What's the challenge to that? Whatever you heard, this was definitely words. These could have been written words. The swords are, whoa, that somebody is holding on to somebody. Somebody tried to say something to you or about you that you were still holding on to somebody, somebody that was no longer in a relationship that was quite over. And that as a challenge means it was not true. And Knight of Wands in reverse, because somebody was out there quite literally. Maybe this is a person that you were interested in or somebody that was interested in you. And I don't know the timeline, obviously, but this person was out there just looking, for new love and, or saying, I'm ready to move forward with my creative endeavors. Or maybe you were literally looking for, a new flirtation or something to see where it could go. So the person who the rumor was made up about wasn't true at all. They were out there not hung up on anybody from the past. They were moved quite along. This could be completely about you, that you weren't hung up on any dumbass from the past, and somebody said something that was believed about you, and you were like, no, I'm moving right along. Okay. Oh, look at this card was already in the upright. Somebody made a poor choice in love. We've got the Lovers card in reverse. Hopefully the AI won't pick it up from there. We got the Lovers card in reverse. Somebody made a poor choice. They believed something about you or somebody that you love that wasn't true. And hopefully it wasn't you, Capricorn, that believe this, because I know how you guys can get. You guys can be very difficult. Hopefully this wasn't somebody's mother. I get no mother card here, so I don't think it was your mother that got involved here, but definitely somebody made a poor choice in love. This feels like an ex of yours, Capricorn. All right. The number 4 is significant. And again, we've got the 4 there. And we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody went back to somebody that they were in a relationship with, possibly, or that they owed something to. This is in the crowning influence. And now the whole thing is in reverse. And now they're feeling like, oh my gosh, I invested in somebody who maybe is trying to just invest in a bunch of plastic surgery when we can't afford it. And I'm giving to somebody when I could have been giving to you. I should have been giving to you. I should have been taking care of you, and vice versa. Maybe somebody did that to you and you could have been investing in somebody that you love or protecting somebody that you love. And, I don't know. You're going to have to see where that fits, Capricorn. For the near future, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So you or somebody you love is actually quite single and happy and alone and successful and working on their pentacles and taking their time. The 9 of Pentacles doesn't mean that somebody is alone. The 9 of Pentacles could also indicate that somebody prefers to be that way. So maybe you prefer to be single and successful and cultivating something that makes you feel happy and healthy. And you see how her back is turned from this dilemma here. Somebody doesn't even care about what happened because it was an injustice. Somebody came in and interfered with the relationship. I don't know if it turned into a full-blown affair. I mean, I can speculate on what that looks like, but definitely the person that you were interested in, unless this is you, was actually healed and over it and looking for a relationship and still remains in the upright. A person who's very successful, a person who's very self-sufficient, a person who is wearing beautiful clothes and feeling wonderful and smelling wonderful and enjoying her garden. And here we have the Justice card in reverse because a great injustice was committed against him or her. And look at there we have the Hanged Man, somebody who has literally hung himself out to dry or taken a different perspective. There's no need for people to sit in the hangman position because if you need to do introspection, you would go into hermit mode, because this is very public. This is for everybody to see. Now, somebody's like, oh my gosh, I lost the love of my life. And there's somebody trying to give them some succor. You know what I mean? Somebody's name is Charles. Charles could have interfered. A C name could have interfered. Thank you, Spirit. Somebody's name is Charles. Charles has interfered. Whoa. For the hopes and fears, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And maybe you're like, yeah, maybe new love is never coming. Well, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, could also be inflating, their assets or, trying to get their money up to come towards you or something to be able to do something sweet for you. I don't know. But don't worry. I'm taking that as like, yes, somebody is coming for you. What was that? Okay. Holy Spirit, clarify. Okay, so somebody says, that's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. Somebody's got a gruff voice. All right, what's the outcome here? Holy Spirit to this situation. Look at new love is coming. What I tell you. It is coming. Hold your horses. Somebody born in the year of the horse could be significant to you. The year of the ox and the goat is significant. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Cups. A water sign could be significant. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or it could just be about all this new love. Uh-huh. Me. The initial M is significant. The initial W is significant. It could be M or W. Here to me, it's W first, middle, or last. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I'm getting chills all over. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Oh my, I've got a very beautiful spirit with me. This is a man. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. What? Okay, hang on. Somebody's really, really sweet here. So this is a deceased loved one. Somebody wants me to talk about a truck. Somebody's name is Lori. A Lori could be significant. All right. Lori. Hubert Place. All right. Oh, my hands are doing something. Hang on just a second. I got to listen to this. I am helping you. Okay. All right, let's see. What's the summary card here? If you hear me talking, that's something else that's going on. You got to be yourself. I'm going to be myself. There are people that have known me. I am 57 years old. They have known me since I was 5 years old, which means that classmates that I went to kindergarten with now have known me longer than most of you have been alive. Okay? They all know who I am. Yes, somebody's natural. And yes, these boobs are natural. This, hey, what the hell? This good, like, do you want proof? This. This came out in the Sagittarius reading. Somebody's tits are not natural. Oops. Not that that matters, okay? But yesterday, like, I had this man, I'm like, this isn't right. That somebody's like, somebody needed to lose like 75 pounds in a hurry. Somebody needs to lose 75 pounds in a hurry? Thank you, Spirit. I don't know. Yes, mine are real. Okay, you have no idea the conversation that I'm listening. Summary? Something isn't over with somebody from the past. You need to close this thing down because I'm telling you that this person doesn't want it to be over. Look, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, how about we do this differently? All right, Spirit, let me know. If you even entertain the person from the past, what is the purpose of this? Why are we doing this? Oh, okay. Wouldn't you know it? Under unrequited love, we get the Hermit as a challenge. Okay, which flew sideways, but, for the read, I'm going to put it here. Somebody has a black dog, had a black dog. Black dog is significant in the year of the snake. Because in the After Tarot, the Hermit here, there's astrology present with the stars in the background. He is holding a snake, and we are moving out of the snake here, and there's a big black dog. I miss my big black dog. I love my dog, but I can't have a dog right now. I'll never have another one like her. Somebody's name could be Tona, Tone, or Tony. My dog's name was Tony. Tona. All right. So what's the challenge to returning to somebody? Somebody really thought about it. Well, somebody wants to come in as the damn King of Wands. Somebody wants to come in and say, hey, look, it's not just about wanding you. It's not just about wanding you. He's like, I went into hermit mode and I thought about this. I want to come back and show you that I'm a freaking king. With a salamander. Definitely, a lot of fire sign here. So Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo, or, this could be you, that could be them. But it's a challenge. Somehow they're challenged. What's the reason why they're challenged in coming in? Did they go to somebody that needs to lose 75 pounds real fast or is trying to skip the country to go have plastic surgery? Could get hurt. Star, because they're not healed. Because they don't feel healed. Because they're not healing. You are the star and they miss you. You're the star. You're their star. They see you as their beautiful star and they can't heal without you. They need you. This isn't healed. Please, I don't want to speak for them, but I'm about to channel whatever's going on. I'm going to try to listen to what I need to listen to. They're not healed. They are not healed. They feel like they can't. This is what they're doing. They're fighting salamanders. They're fighting. They can't even sleep. They have nightmares about you. They're struggling without you. They can't look at, they know with the Lover's card, they know that they made the wrong choice. Somebody listened to people that were slandering you. But that's their problem. That's not yours. Somebody has a patchwork quilt, very pretty, colorful patchwork quilt on their bed. The color red is significant. Red lips, red roses, red rover, red rover. Somebody's got a Range Rover. All right, the color red is significant. The War of the Roses. We got the Tudor roses. Somebody could be English. All right, so now we've got the Chariot in reverse. Somebody cannot move forward with their freaking life because major arcana and this is not over. They want you. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you get what you can. You can't always. Oh, I was almost going to say it because what? Mick Jagger. This is about Mick Jagger. Where's Mick Jagger from? Is he from the UK? He's from England. Is he British? Is he English? How do you want to put that? I don't know. Somebody in a fight about that? Why do I get this energy like you can't get what you want? No, honey. I said that to my son the other day. He's a grown man, and it was just funny. We were voicing a character, and I said, you just can't get what you want. And I voiced the character that way because I was feeling it. Okay, so for the person that you're in love with who's happily out there tending to her own things, her own projects, her own garden, she's feeding and clothing herself, leave her alone. Okay, because this was a missed opportunity for a whole freaking 10 ass of cups. Okay. Somebody wanted everything with her and it is over. There's no way to get this back. Okay. So now with the justice card in reverse because of whatever was done, somebody listened. And didn't I tell you that it was a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces? Somebody listened to somebody who was faking that they were more of the sweet, innocent, psychic, mystic, nurturing, nursing mother, with the Queen of Cups. That was an injustice. And it could have been that a fake water sign, a fake mystic, a fake seer, somebody who was a fake everything, maybe with implants, ruined this. Okay. And look at, because the person that they tried to say they were was a Queen of Wands. They were trying to say, but I'm your match, not the Queen of Cups in reverse, when the Queen of Cups was never in reverse. The Queen of Cups was the one they were supposed to be with. Okay, that's okay, but that's the way life goes. That's why you write a book, you move on. Okay, so what are the hopes and fears here for this person, like trying to come in? What happens? Because this is giving us more like the flavor of like, what are they thinking about wanting to move in? Like they seem like they're talking a lot, but they don't do shit. All right, you talk a lot, all talk, no action, just faith, fake, a mask. Yeah, they don't get their wish fulfillment because they can't do it. I mean, they're just like sitting there, overweight, gluttony, like just not doing shit. Well, if you're not going to do shit, then just sit there and don't bother my collective. What's the outcome here? Do they make a move or not? Doesn't want to flip, doesn't want to do a damn thing. Nope. They are an emperor in reverse. They are not the real emperor. The king has no clothes. Okay. This is a person who could be born in the year of the ram. Okay, let's see. What is the summary for this? He's not going to make a move because he's a fake emperor. So he knows he's going to have to eat his words. So I got two. Actually, I got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Egypt is significant. Scarabs are significant here, but we do not get a new beginning. Somebody's losing a shit ton of money or not making enough money. And then we have the Four of Wands in reverse. The foundation that they set with somebody else who could be the fake Queen of Cups in reverse is a lie. Okay, do I move to another deck or do I stick with this one? We're going to stick with this one. Okay, so now what happens for you? Well, you're on a new beginning. Bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. Maybe you have a white dog now and you don't have a black dog anymore. Look at what I'm looking at. Okay, somebody definitely has a black dog or had a black dog. Okay, let's go for it. All right, Holy Spirit and guiding spirits. Hang on just a second. I want your attention. Here we go. What happens for you now? You're going to be fine. Somebody else is right there on the horizon for you. It could be somebody who's at a distance from you. From a distance, the world looks... I mean, somebody could be way up there. Somebody could be a freaking astronaut for all I know. But that person is, Mama, I'm coming home. So somebody's coming home to you. Somebody's bringing the world to you because you see, he's giving her the world and she is receiving it. And he's gently, this is a gentleman. He's holding her by the elbow. He's being very careful with her. He looks a little bit weary. She looks a little bit mature. You both could be a little bit older. Here we have the Two of Wands. Somebody's coming to you, baby. All right, so let's see. What's the challenge to this new life? This other person is going to be a pain in the ass, but you're going to ignore it, as I'm suggesting, because you're going to work together. This is the Three of Pentacles. There you are in the basement, the foundation. These, you could be familiar with crypts or, for what's underneath different buildings. This looks very much like a castle. Somebody could actually be some kind of a baron, some kind of a something. Somebody could actually have a castle. I'm getting this feeling that somebody has a castle. Somebody has a castle. It doesn't have to be Count Dracula. It could just be somebody very wealthy, or maybe they're not so wealthy, but they've got some ancestral property. I mean, so you know what? I'm getting a very Cinderella vibe here. You're going to work together with somebody who wants to work together with you. This reminds me of that couple that are in somewhere in the UK somewhere. I don't remember actually if it's in the UK, but they're working on like this. Oh, it's a French. They're in France. Yes, they are. They're working on like this tremendous project that is a restoration, and they live in it and they put their money into it. And then you could pitch money into what they're doing. And, Vive la différence. I mean, that's what it's for. They're living their purpose. They're different. They're living their difference. Differences are interesting. You're going to be of a different culture, culturally significant here. And look at, now we've got The Fool has come out now in reverse. This is somebody that you may already know. You've been exposed to this person in some way. Uh-huh. All right, let's see. What is this all about? Somebody's at castles. This is not castles in the sand, and these are not castles in the sky. That's a freaking castle. Strength in reverse. So you may feel like you just don't have the strength or the ability to do this, to move forward. You've been through a lot. I think that's why you could be feeling this way. Don't let your animal passions take over. Don't let that wand become everything. Okay, the wand is fun. Kisses are even better. All right, let's see. So what do we have for the crowning influence? Uh-huh. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This is odd. I don't feel comfortable with this. Somebody's a convict. I just heard convict. Uh-oh. Hang on just a second. 10 of Pentacles in reverse after tarot. That's a loss of wealth. Okay, let me regroup here. Maybe somebody did something they shouldn't have done and now they have a record and they're trying to rebuild something in their life. When a person has done the crime and they've done the time, hey, they paid their debt to society. Maybe they're trying to build on that castle and their ancestral wealth. Remember I said maybe they don't have money, but they have the property. Hang on, I just heard something. Somebody's a proxy. Uh-huh. All right, so this is a property in proxy. Okay, so by proxy, somebody is standing in by proxy for somebody else. All right. Huh? And then we've got the 8 of Wands. Somebody could be in the military. I've got the 8 of Wands that somebody's about to shoot their shot. Somebody is literally about to make the effort and either fly towards you, go if they're at a great distance. Here they come, they're going to come. It is going to happen. This person could have some skeletons in the closet, if you will. Because convict doesn't mean horrible person. It means that they've been convicted of something. I really feel like I need to put it that way. Yeah, I heard that too. It happens. Real life. That's what they just said. It happens and real life. Uh-huh. Oops. This is so interesting right now. Spirit, continue. I told you guys I'm going to do it a little bit differently for you. That's a man that's talking to me. Real life. Oops, it happens. All right, so now what does this person want with you? Let's see if we can get some specifics. What do they want from you? Huh. They want to be renewed. They want you to be their dumpling? What the... They want to make you the Queen of Pentacles. They want to make you the fucking queen of something. I am not kidding you. Flip and switch the roles. Somebody wants to make you the queen of an entire castle. What is this? I know what I'm hearing. For some of you, even if you say like, well, no, it's not possible. Someday my prince will come. Someday when dreams come true. I mean, it can happen for you. A castle could be, a double wide for somebody, okay? But for somebody, this is brick and mortar. I've been getting a whole lot of real estate stuff happening. Maybe by proxy, you become the caretaker of some beautiful place. Like I always tell people I would love to have a miniature Versailles, only because I want to play with the miniature animals, okay? So somebody could be absolutely French here. King Louis, the Sun King, 16th, 15th, 16th. The 15th or the 16th of any month is significant. And flying over here to the star, we've got somebody who's trying to free you. And you could be this person, they could be this person. Somebody's definitely in the military because look, we got the same person shooting the shot as we do here trying to free this woman in red. Somebody says, let me free you. You don't have to be stuck here anymore. Okay? Somebody's trying to come in and free you. Let me see if I get anything else from these people. There's something about Donald Trump. So like somebody's talking about Donald Trump. Please don't talk to me about Donald Trump. Please don't talk to me about that nightmare. Okay, so please. All right. But, some people, well, I do have people. Hi, Henny. There are people and Henny's not really Henny. There's something going on with that person. He's actually two people and he thinks I don't know. All right. Digital scrub. All right, let's see. I do speak. Hang on just a second. Yeah. The person who's flipping out about this is a female air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You're not afraid of this person, but this person's going to be fucking pissed. I don't know who that is, why it matters to you. Hopes and fears, because you don't I don't hope for anything with this person. I don't fear them either. They're just there. That just is more like, that person's going to be pissed. There's a Cancer. Somebody's investigating this woman. That's just what I heard. Okay, so now we've got the outcome card, and we're going to wrap this up as we are an hour and 1 minute. Yeah, she's a show off. That's what Jesus told me, whoever this air sign woman is or was. And for the outcome, we got the 5 of Cups in reverse. You're picking it up and you're moving on. What happened before was a false start. It wasn't the right person, sweetheart. There's something going on with that person, and then somebody interfered with the lies. If they believed lies about you, then let that new wonderful person come in. Okay, why do you want somebody who doesn't believe you? Why do you want somebody who doesn't believe in you? Why do you want somebody that would believe rumors about you? That happens to people all the time. Why would you want somebody who wouldn't double check and check things on their own? Sometimes we're the karmic test and they fail. All right. Let's see. Yeah, that person failed. Hang on. David. The name David is significant. David B is significant. The name David is significant. That's beautiful. What is the summary here with this new person? Yeah. 5 of Wands in reverse, because the competition will be over, because that person is coming in to end the competition and to grab you. Now, is this person the past person at all? I don't know. Let's see if they say anything about that. Like I said, I'm channeling a little bit differently. Somebody's German. I got two big old bangs on the wall behind me. I don't know if you heard that. Somebody's definitely German. Somebody's German, but Germans don't read from right to left. When you read in German or write in German, you're writing left to right. Hang on, I have to listen. That one. Somebody's name is Andy. Are we done? Okay. For some of you, it's going to be that person from the past that's going to try to make a power play, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. All right, I'm going to listen to Spirit again. Hang on. I have to watch my energy levels during this because, it takes me a bit. I had a nice cup of coffee. What is it? Does it have anything to do with this person from the past? Oh my God. I just heard the Pope and I'm covered in chills. That person's going to come in to try to marry you. Somebody's name is Nathan. We have the Death card here. A situation that is over is attempting to resurrect. This person is trying to come in, and I heard the Pope. The Pope would be the Hierophant card. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know what you're going to do. Flip it, switch the roles, take what resonates here. Huh, hang on. It's a person from the past. This person, don't jump into anything with this person because, he's still carrying a scythe and there's a skull behind him. This is the Death card. Bat wings are significant. Bat is significant. Batman could be significant. Clouds are significant. The color blue is significant. This person has skeletons in the closet. Didn't I say somebody's got some skeletons in the closet? Somebody could be a convict. This person could have been convicted of something and has now done their time. What do they have? A castle? They better put the entire thing under your name, because after what I've seen here, what was done to you was not fair. And, somebody resonates with dowries, like in some countries, like It goes the... See, again, we go with the opposites. You know, oh no, oh hell no, you put me through this, you are going to put $1 million in the bank because I don't know if you're going to do that again. I mean, not everybody's going to get $1 million in the bank, but you know, you're going to secure something because this was bad. Yeah, joke. Somebody's a joker. I'm trying to listen to them. To color red, again, a significant sacrifice here. Bloodshed. Somebody has really had to bleed. That's fine. Okay. Let me listen. Something's intergalactic? What the fuck? Galactic. The Galactic Federation has protected you here? Yes, I just heard it. Okay, I just heard it. You guys need to be very careful because somebody from the past, it could be two different people here. They are demonic. They got themselves involved with something demonic, like, you know, maybe a cult or a stupid, retarded LARPing group. I don't know. But they got involved in doing something they shouldn't have done. I heard clearly demonic. And look at, there's bat wings on here. This is awful. Okay, there goes another knock on the back wall. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this might be easier for me to channel this way, but it takes me a little bit longer because now we're at about 6 minutes over. The number 6 is significant. Somebody could be born on the 6th of any month or the 6th month. 6, 6. Oh, fuck me. I heard yes. This person has some issues here. If they're not from the light, you know what to do. What the fuck? Misfortune. Do not go back to the person from the past. Look at this damn card. That is the Tower. Let the new prince with the castle. I don't know. You don't need a fucking castle. You could live out of a vehicle before you would ever get involved with anybody like this. Yeah, they want to marry you. That's what they're telling everybody. For as long as they live, they want to commit vows, but they feel like they're married to somebody else. And we did hear Pope. And then now we get, what is this? Love. They love you. Well, I'm sorry, honey. I've got about 200 demons and low-level spirits that love me, and they don't bother me because they respect me. They know they don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with them. All right, let's see. No, sir. If it doesn't come from Jesus and from the angelic realm, no thank you. You know, here it looks like this chubby cherub. You know, look at that little look on the baby's face. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of side-eyeing, like, yeah. I don't know. What is with that? Let's continue with this oracle. I'm very interested here. Spirit, talk to me. That's the fucking problem. They're with somebody else. Somebody could be a blonde. Somebody could be a fat blonde that they're with. I don't know what that means. They told me to say fat blonde. Look at those tiny wings. The angel's not even flying. This is a fake. This is a phony. Uh-huh. Somebody, like, turned somebody out. Somebody could have even turned somebody gay. Or bi, or... Oh, my God. Somebody's, like, disgraced an entire family. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Okay, so now we have... What is this? Money? Yeah, you know, somebody's had to leave and leave everything behind. They were only after money. What the fuck? Wow. Okay. Should never. They just said should never. Somebody should never. Continue, Spirit. I wish you could hear it the way I hear it when I learn. Because of their image. I'm going to keep listening. Because of their image. It was about image. What is an image? Like I said, you're going to die. Now everybody's going to know what kind of a person you are. Like, how do you restore that when you're, like, walking around with death around you? Somebody could have a death sentence because they were a fucking peacock, because somebody was just peacocking and look at me, look at me. Somebody was just like an attention 304. Say again. Lord. Listen to your intuition about this person. This could be a test. All right, I'm going to continue to listen as long as I can before it fades out. Hang on. What's the point of this? Most of the collective is already going to know that that person was too toxic, like they are literally on fire. You know, they've had to. Somebody wants to meet with you right now. I mean, like it's almost like as if they got up, but maybe they left all their money behind and are going to come to you like, look, and I'm coming to you fucking broke, busted, and disgusted with myself. I have lost everything. Yeah, but is that the way you come at a person now that you made the wrong choice? And look at, there's the Lord of the Manor. You know, this could be two people. I feel like the Lord of the Manor is not this flying devil. You know, that person, they could be a pilot. They could be a fighter pilot. They could have been in the military. They could, you know, they could be, no, that's not an aerial artist because look at the wand is over the shoulder. This is a person that could fly gliders. This is a person who, you know, is in those hover chairs. You never put me in one of those. I was gonna, almost did. No, I did not. Okay, so look at this. These are two different people. He's looking at this one. He knows that the Lord of the Manor is approaching. His shit's on fire over here like the demonic. That's hell. That's not even limbo, dude. Like if somebody's Catholic, that's not even limbo. That is like hell. Somebody's done something really bad. I don't want to dwell in this too long. I really want to move away from this energy because it's disgusting. Even the spirit, I don't hear anything. All right. What time is it? Okay. Now, they've recovered. Huh. Death. Okay, yeah, they've recovered. They're going to try to tell you they are the death person. The person from the past is represented by the dead person. I'm getting yes, that's what they just said. They've recovered. Is the Lord and the devil two different people? He's a flying devil. That's a demon ass. Yeah, they could have, there could be the end of a relationship here. They could have been in a relationship and now that is over, the one that they chose wrong with, because now we've got, this is so hard to read. This font is so tiny. Okay, yeah, because this card here in the reverse is reunion. I mean, like they went back to somebody and now that's going wrong. And it says enemy. So they're either the enemy and they're coming toward you, or they are leaving the enemy. Holy Spirit, which one is it? Spirit, talk to me. They want to help you. Oh, Lord, we don't want your help. Okay, what is this? Leave us alone. All right. Get clear. Somebody's... I better not say that. Oh, no. Somebody's sick. That's why they want to come towards you. Somebody's not well. That could be a deathbed for some people. Please forgive me for having to deliver a message like that. Laying on a deathbed. 1 Adam 12. Somebody's name could be Adam. January 12th could be significant. December could be significant. Okay. They're thinking about the times they had with you. You know, I don't know. This does not feel like a Capricorn message, but it's obviously a Capricorn message. So they could be a Capricorn rising or a significant Capricorn placement, or you. They're thinking about you. They are the Lord. They just told me that. They are the Lord of the Manor. So they've got some property or real estate. Unless they really do have a big old castle. All right. I've known people like that, so trust me. Okay, so... They're saying that the person who's sick is the Lord, who is the death. It could be that the death is very close to them for some reason. They've done something here. You know, this is like a backfire. I don't know. Somebody else, like, could have backfired on him. The Queen of Swords who's over there saying over here, she could have caused a backfire. I don't know. I don't know where to assign the blame. Who did what? I mean, obviously, they didn't choose you, but somehow by not choosing you, they also brought luck and hellfire against you. It's like, why you walked away and they decided that you're the enemy? Huh. I'd like to get them to talk to me. What? Hang on just a second. Anyhow. Anywho. Somebody says any. Huh. Hang on. They want to get things started with you again. So their intention is to say, trust me, I want you to start over with me. Trust me. Maybe they have a dreaded disease. Somebody has a dreaded disease and they're like, I don't want this. What do they think, that you can heal them? I'm talking to a bunch of you that are healers. You know how to heal, with your hands and with the spirit. You know what? Do they love you because you could heal them? Or do they think you could heal them? It doesn't work that way. Oh my gosh, somebody has, I don't know if I want to say it that way. Somebody has herpes. Somebody contracted a disease like that. And we have child in reverse popped out there. There's something about a child. Somebody's child is not their child, and it's yet another blow. Like, I don't know. Let's see if they say anything else so we could wrap it up. Holy Spirit, this has gone really long. What is it? Why so overfocused? If the child isn't yours, it just isn't yours. Get over with. Get over it. Get over it. Okay, stop with that. Stop with that. What is it that's causing this malady? Herpes. Somebody... so herpes is the varicella. It's the same one, different form that causes chickenpox and mouth ulcers. And then, of course, a genital malady. Oh, my God. Okay. What about this? Somebody said gay? I don't know. No? Yes? Something's happening Monday. All right, help me wrap this up, Spirit. This door is too open for me. I want to shut this off. All right. I want to shut this down. Any parting messages, Spirit? Yeah. Somebody wants to pay something off that you owe. They think you owe something and they want to pay it for you. Somebody feels really bad about what they did to you. But again, like actions speak louder than words. The actions speak louder than cards. If they do nothing, like, I don't know, you'd probably say no. Look, if somebody's going to try to make something up to you, they could make something up to you and they could make it right. And then you could part on better terms again. I don't know if you should go back with somebody who's got some kind of an infectious disease like this. I mean, they're going to need a lot of healing. It looks like they're on medication. Somebody said there's something about real estate. There's going to have to be a division of real estate. There's something going on with the real estate. Okay, I can't take that, Spirit. How do we wrap this up? Oh, okay. I want to wrap this up. I really don't want to take too many hints here because this is going to be too much for me. I don't want that. I don't want that. I shouldn't do that. How do I do this? I don't know how to wrap this up. Fight back. Okay, I'm going to go over here and let's just see. Somebody's in a mental health crisis, 10-3M. Somebody's a cop. Somebody's in the military. Somebody's definitely in law enforcement. Something about the nightly news. Everybody is finding out. So whatever this is, it's going to be known. Their friends know. Everybody knows. Accidental death and dismemberment. Something's happened that is an accident or a death. Somebody could have been in a car accident. There's an active investigation. There's a marriage that was never a real marriage, and somebody's going to lose their shit, and it's probably her. This will lead to a lawsuit. Oh my gosh, like 1954 could be a significant year. This person was involved. We've got, again, the initial M. We've got the name James, Jimmy, Jim, or Jimbo. There's a hiking trail that's significant. That means something to me. All right, so there's a hiking trail that's significant. Somebody has cankles. Somebody needs to lose weight. A panda is significant, or China is significant. Somebody is in the closet. Something about Winco Foods. Okay, so somebody's going to Winco Foods. If you're not here in the United States, you wouldn't know. Oh, Lord. I love, care, and protect my inner child. That's something that you need to do. There's two here. Somebody wears ridiculous makeup. Oh my gosh, I'm almost sorry I picked this up, but we gotta, oh, we've gotta seal this up. The year 2007 could be significant. Somebody in possession charges. PayPal is significant. Somebody could be paying somebody off, doing something like that, paying people to harass you, stalk you, or they did. Do not entertain the past person. They're still controlled by a demonic carpet. Somebody could have led this person straight into the hellfire. I'm sorry. If you didn't take care of yourself and your spiritual health, then you've got to learn like everybody else. The courthouse is specific because there could be somebody who's heading to the courthouse. A gardener could be significant, or somebody that was on the outside of your home, or somebody who just like gardening. 1983 is significant. The initial J is significant. 1 to 3 months. That could be how long somebody has to live, or how long they had to do some time, or how long before they're cured of their venereal disease. God. Roller skates. Roller skating is significant. Somebody's got terrible manners. Somebody snorts mucus and somebody does a whole, I'm not going to make that sound. Somebody has an intellectual disability that was involved here, and they live in a humid location. You could be a poet. They could be a poet. This is a part of the script. Somebody could be an actor. Somebody's wide awake. Somebody has a coconut crab, or coconuts are significant. Santorini, Italy is significant. Wood chimes are significant. Something about Los Angeles. Somebody has taken lives before. The initial Q is significant. A man tells his woman that he wants out of the marriage. I'm telling you that somebody's leaving a marriage, falsifying documents. Okay. What? Okay, never mind. The patterns creep back in. This person is just going to fall into the same kind of pattern, or there's a pattern that they fell back into. What? A delicate red rose emerges between concrete slabs in Los Angeles. Something was a contract hit. Something about the DEA is significant, and or white-collar crime. Somebody could have been trafficking something that they shouldn't have been, putting their hands into something that they were supposed to either protecting or redirecting, and they got involved in it. That could be a bigger part of somebody's bigger story. Of course, we've got advances in DNA testing and technology, which would match up over here with that child. Okay, get over it. If a child isn't yours, get over it. All right, this happens to lots of people. You're not the only one. This is the person that this happened to. Yeah, somebody's a liar. So they got big ears. Somebody's an entire clown. A cross-dresser is significant. Sounds like humiliation ritual to me. You never met their mother or their family. Good. You don't want to meet them. Their mistake was to remain silent, probably when they knew that somebody was coming for you. Certified mail. Somebody interfered with documents or mail sent to their location, somehow your location. An uninvited guest, if they show up at your house, do not answer the door. There was a death in their family, and insurance fraud could be significant. A message header is significant. A corrupt politician could be significant. There was a hit put out on you. You were being tracked. Somebody has a death sentence, or somebody died as a result of a backfire. A battle on the horizon. Justice will be served. Somebody, like maybe they fought in a battle, or this is their battle, or they're going to die on that damn hill if they don't do the right thing. But justice will always be served. Is there two here? No. The ATF, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Somebody's definitely in some kind of governmental position. Somebody who failed to leave. We've got the IP is trace, so an investigation is complete. The investigation is over. Sudden wealth or significant increase in wealth could be coming towards you, or it came toward them, and that's what tipped somebody off about the life insurance, because an objection was overruled. Somebody tried to say, no, we got it this way. That's not really how it went. However it is, it doesn't have to be a castle, could be a property. Life insurance could refer to life insurance, or it could also be something that they're hoping would save their ass if they got in trouble, because there was perversion involved. Some family secrets are being exposed, and their lives are falling apart. I don't think I even want to draw any names. Take good care, because that's enough. Love you guys.